criticized as financially exclusionary, particularly for low-income and seasonally employed Kenyans who are unable to make such bulk payments. Honorable Speaker, the shift from the previous monthly contribution model under the NHIF to the annualized infixable payment structure threatens to erode public confidence in the SHA and risks disfranchising millions of Kenyans who fall outside the formal employment bracket. It is imperative that this House receives clarity on the policy rationale, legal foundation, and sustainability for this contribution framework. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Health on the following: the policy, justification, and legal basis for requiring annual lump sum contributions from informal sector contributors under SHA, whether there are plans to review or revise the current contribution structure to allow for monthly, quarterly, or otherwise flexible installments options in order to accommodate varying income realities among Kenyans, whether the Ministry of Health or SHA has conducted an impact assessment or affordability analysis to evaluate the implications of this policy on enrollment, compliance, and access to essential health services, mitigation measures that have been considered or are in place to cushion economically vulnerable populations during the transition from NHIF to SHA, and confirmation of whether the current contribution policy has been anchored in published regulations, and if so, whether the same may be amended through administrative or legislative intervention to ensure equity and accessibility. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chairperson, Education Committee, Health Committee. Health, Honorable General.
Thank you, thank you, Madam Speaker. That's a very important question, and we'll make an effort to get an answer, if possible, within 2 weeks. But it's fairly comprehensive, but we'll make maximum effort because it's a thing that is important to the whole country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Okay, you've said 2 weeks. So there is also a request for a statement by Honorable Clive Gisario, member for Kitutu Masaba. Yes, Honorable Gisairo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. A request for a statement regarding detainment of a minor in India due to delayed payment for medical bills by the Social Health Authority. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding detainment of a 10-month-old baby Chloe Agnes Nyanchoka Nyang'au in India due to delayed payment of medical bill by the Social Health Authority. Honorable Speaker, baby Chloe, a declared dependent of Mr. Boniface Nyang'au Momanyi, member number CR 694-366-499-5724-9 under the Social Health Insurance Fund was referred to Miot International Hospital in Chennai, India for open heart surgery by a consultant pediatric cardiologist at Kenyatta National Hospital. The referral was authorized by the Office of the Director General for Health via a letter dated 8th April 2025 for the period of cover ending June 30th, 2025. Honorable Speaker, on 15th May 2025, Ms. Gladys Nyabonyi Asuku of National ID number 22816057 and passport number BK968376, the mother of the minor, duly signed the Social Health Insurance Fund SHIF beneficiary commitment form for overseas treatment. The total cost of treatment was stated at shillings 1,625,000, with a clear acknowledgement that the SHA Gazette tariff for overseas treatment would cover Kenya shillings 500,000. Subsequently, baby Chloe, accompanied by her mother, traveled to Chennai, India on 16th July 2025 where baby Chloe underwent open heart surgery on 21st July 2025.
One moment, member for Kitutu Masaba. Sergeant at Arms, could I have the list of guests who are here? Because I can see the guests are arriving and leaving before I receive the list. You may proceed.
Although she was scheduled to return to Nairobi on 5th August 2025, Miot International Hospital has withheld her release due to delayed payment of the outstanding Kenya shillings 500,000 by the Social Health Authority, subjecting the family to emotional distress and unforeseen financial hardship. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. 1. Reasons behind the delay by SHA in remitting the outstanding Kenya shillings 500,000 despite prior authorization and the signed beneficiary commitment and the expected timeline for the payment. 2. Internal mechanisms in place within SHA to guarantee timely disbursement of approved medical funds for overseas treatments, including measures employed to prevent detention of minors such as baby Chloe in foreign hospitals due to administrative lapses. And 3, legal recourse available for Kenyan patients detained abroad under similar circumstances, and steps the Ministry of Health is undertaking to prevent such cases from recurring in the future. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for who's the Health? Honorable Nyikal, Chairperson Health.
Madam Speaker, this obviously is a very critical matter. The child being held all effort will be made so that we have an answer, a report by next week, if possible, at least regarding the release of the child, even if other policy matters are still to be looked at. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Next, we have a request for a statement by Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, member for Westlands constituency.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I request for a statement.
Honorable Faith Gitau, stop distracting the member for Westlands.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker,
for protecting you.
I request for a statement regarding the right to persons to reasonable accommodation in the workplace for persons with disabilities. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442C, I rise to request for a statement from a chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the rights of reasonable accommodation in the workplace for persons living with disabilities. Honorable Speaker, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and Section 21(2)(d) of the Persons with Disabilities Act number 4 of 2025 requires every employer to carry out appropriate modifications in their workplace premises to accommodate the employment of persons with disabilities. Despite the right to reasonable accommodation, Ms. Phyllis Anyango Ouko, who serves as a Director Administration in the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and is a wheelchair user, was recently relocated from the first floor to the 8th floor of the Harambee House. The decision for the relocation was reportedly made without consideration for her accessibility needs, jeopardizing her well-being. Consequently, Ms. Anyango has reportedly been sleeping in her current office space for 3 consecutive nights to prevent its demolition and secure her accessibility rights. Honorable Speaker, it is deeply concerning that a public officer living with disability is being subjected to such challenges in a clear violation of her right to reasonable accommodation. The Kenya Disability Parliamentary Association, KEDIPA, calls for urgent intervention by the relevant ministry and other state agencies. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Department or Committee on Labor on the following grounds. Number one, actions taken by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection to investigate the matter and ensure that the matter is resolved while ensuring the protection of the right to reasonable accommodation for Ms. Phyllis Anyango Oko. Number two, measures put in place to ensure accessibility of the place of work for Ms. Phyllis Oko and other persons with disabilities in public service, and steps taken to address discrimination of persons with disabilities in the workplace, including promoting their inclusivity in decision-making processes in the workplace. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson for Labour Committee, or a member from that committee. Is there a member from Labour? Yes, Honorable Donya.
Yeah. In the next 2 weeks, Madam Speaker.
Okay. Someone just murmured that 2 weeks is too long. Point of order, Honorable Pukose.
Honorable Speaker, you know I'm standing in for the majority leader, and therefore 2 weeks I think is a very long period of time, considering what the honorable member has raised, that she's been sleeping in the office for the last 3 nights. And I think we cannot keep her sleeping in that office for the next 2 weeks. I'll direct that the committee gives a response within a week's time so that that matter is resolved urgently.
Honorable Donya, do you think your committee can do it in 1 week? Especially considering we are going on recess.
Oh, well guided, Madam Speaker. I'll give the communication.
Thank you.
Okay.
And before we proceed to the next request for statement, which will be made by the Honorable Walter Owino, member for Awendo, allow me to recognize the presence of Mother Kelvin School from Kandui constituency, Bungoma County, who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. And also seated in the Speaker's Gallery are staff members from Bomachoge Barabu, staff members from the constituency of Bomachoge Barabu and from Kisii County. And I think on behalf of members of Parliament and the substantive Speaker, I'm going to give the Member of Parliament to welcome them on our behalf. Proceed.
Mike. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to say I'm twice lucky because you've allowed me to be able to also welcome my staff, Bomachoge Borabu constituency staff. Yesterday, I was given another opportunity to welcome Kenyenya Junior Academy to the Parliament chambers. Madam Speaker, I would like to welcome the staff of Bomachoge Borabu to these chambers. I would like to remind them that they are in their positions because of the goodwill that the people gave to us, and I would like to encourage them to continue to support me so that we can be able to give our people the best services possible. I also wish to say that they should continue to enjoy Parliament premises as much as they can, because there's a common saying that you cannot create experience, you have to undergo it. So because of their arrival in the chambers today, they are able to see practically what it means to legislate, oversight, and represent the people of Bomachoge Borabu. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. And on behalf of myself and the Honorable Speaker, I welcome you to the House of Parliament. And also seated in the public gallery, I wish to recognize the following schools: Father Walistra Academy from Kandui constituency, Bungoma County. We also have Rihanna Primary School from Kasarani constituency, Nairobi County. We also have Mutamayu Primary School from Kinangop constituency, Nyandarua County. Also St. Clair Primary School from Chesumei constituency, Nandi County. And also Marigat Academy from Baringo South constituency, Baringo County. And also Mfaraji Primary School, Igembe North constituency, Meru County. And Alomoreni Primary School, Narok West constituency, Narok County. And on behalf of the substantive speaker, myself and the members of the National Assembly, I will ask Honorable Taitum to welcome all our guests on our behalf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. They allow me to welcome all the schools present in the chambers, both the public and the speakers gallery. This is the institution that oversights, legislates, and represents the Kenyans' interest. I would like to ask the students who have come here, this noble opportunity should serve as an inspiration towards and working for the betterment of yourselves, so that in the future, some of you will get an opportunity to represent Kenyans in this very, very noble institution called the Parliament. Welcome. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Itaitumi. I now call upon a statement to be made by, a request for a statement by Honorable Walter Owino, Member for Awendo, addressed to the Ministry, the Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is a request for a statement regarding non-payment of retirees' deposit by non-compliant SACCO societies. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives regarding the non-payment of deposit shares to retirees by various savings and credit cooperative organizations, SACCOs. Honorable Speaker, there is a growing concern over the number of retirees, many documented by the Retirees Welfare Association of Kenya, who are unable to access their funds due to non-compliance by several SACCOs. Despite numerous letters and appeals to the Office of the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and the Chief Executive Officer of SACCO Societies Regulatory Authority, SASRA, no meaningful progress has been made. This has occasioned great suffering and financial disgrace among retired members, many of whom are not pensionable and rely solely on their SACCO savings for post-retirement livelihood. Honorable Speaker, the association has cited cases from SACCOs across the country, including the AFNA SACCO, Transcom SACCO, Migori Teachers SACCO, Bungoma Teachers SACCO, Nairobi Jitegeme, and Kenya Union of Sugarcane Plantation Workers, among others. These SACCOs collectively owe deposit to thousands of members, some with as many as 1,034 retirees yet to be paid. Regrettably, there is no ring-fenced legal framework setting timelines for refunding retirees, nor are there binding disciplinary consequences for non-compliant SACCOs. Furthermore, online fraud, internal collusion have been reported, further endangering retirees' funds. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on the following. 1. List of SACCOs that are yet to refund retirees' deposits and indicate the actions taken against them. 2. Plans by the ministry to develop a regulatory framework that safeguards deposits and sets clear timelines for refunding retirees their deposits through SASRA. 3. Measures being taken to hold SACCOs officials who intentionally delay or deny payments to retired members accountable. And 5, steps in place to ensure ring-fence refund timelines for retirees and disciplinary actions tied to delayed refunds, especially retirees' proposals for 10% penalty levies on delays, and legal recognition of deposit shares under the Retirement Benefit Authority, RBA, Madam Speaker. And kindly, Madam Speaker, allow me to say something on this outside the request for statement. I wish to emphasize that the retirees affected by this matter have knocked on every door available to them, including your office and that of the clerk. It is for this reason that I felt compelled to take up this issue, not only as a representative, but also as a moral obligation to those who served this country diligently, and more so, as a voice for those who have been systematically ignored. These are citizens who have no salaries, no pensions, only their SACCO savings to depend on. I therefore urge that this matter be taken up with utmost urgency and seriousness, and that the CS provides an elaborate response to the statement, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Who's representing the member for the chairperson for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives? Yes, proceed, Honorable Owundo.
Speaker, in the absence of the chair and the vice chair, I will undertake to transmit the request for statement, and we request him, being a weight matter, it has been with us for many years, it allows us 2 weeks after the resumption of the sitting of the House, sometimes towards the end of early September, so that we can get adequate responses to the request. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Is that sufficient, Honorable Owendo? Member for Owendo, Honorable Owino?
That is okay, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, now let us proceed for a request for a statement by the Honorable Member for Nairobi County, Honorable Passaris.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 43, I wish to make a statement regarding the 27th anniversary of the 1998 U.S. bombing in Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, I rise today with a heavy heart, yet with hope to mark the 27th anniversary of the 7th August 1998 bombing of the U.S. Embassy here in Nairobi. That devastating attack claimed the lives of 218 innocent individuals, injured over 5,000, and left thousands of families shattered. While the world moved on, the survivors are still living with the consequences, many in silence, many in suffering. During this year's commemoration at the 7th August Memorial Park, I listened to survivors like Douglas, who lost his sight in the blast, Beatrice, who lost her husband, Masharia, who lost both parents. Their stories are not just heartbreaking, they are a call for conscience. Honorable Speaker, many survivors are still waiting for justice, recognition, and compensation. While the U.S. government took responsibility for its citizens, Kenyan victims were left behind, neglected in both care and recognition. Their ongoing case has not delivered closure or relief. They are now seeking an audience with His Excellency the President and with the relevant arms of government to present their plight directly on issues such as education, healthcare, assisted devices, and long-term economic support. Honorable Speaker, I appeal to you and the leadership of this House to help facilitate this audience. These survivors are not just seeking charity, they are seeking dignity, justice, and a place in national memory. Through NGAF, I supported the association with a financial contribution. I also pledged Kenya shillings 250 through the Wezesha Mama Inua Jamii initiative. We will be providing also as NGAF 50 bursary forms and have secured a donation of white cans from Math Charitable Trust, an affiliation of Embracing the World, for those who lost their sight, to restore some measure of independence and dignity. However, the government's support must go beyond token gestures. It must be structured, sustained, and dignified. As we remember the lives of those lost on that tragic day, let us also renew our responsibility to the living survivors. They should not suffer in silence, not 27 years later. Honorable Speaker, I urge this House to help deliver them the audience they seek and the justice they deserve. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Well, this is a personal statement, so there will be no comments on it. Honorable members, allow me to recognize in the public gallery DEB Kabachi School from Mbeere North, Embu County, and St. Mario School from Kisumu East, Kisumu County. Join me in welcoming them to the institution of Parliament as they observe the proceedings of the House. The next chance will go to the member for Migori, Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of the Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the murder of Mr. Michael Odhiambo Omamba of ID 32269118. Honorable Speaker, on the morning of 23rd July 2025, Mr. Michael Odhiambo Omamba, a resident of Uriri Sub-County in Migori County, was found dead under unclear circumstances, barely 50 meters from his residence in Migori Town. A preliminary view of his body showed that he had suffered a fatal stab wound to the chest. It is reported that some items which were recovered at the scene, including a wallet, a mobile phone believed to be his personal belongings, were untouched, pointing at a likelihood that his killing was premeditated and not as a consequence of an act of violent robbery. Honorable Speaker, it is claimed that on the night prior to his killing, Mr. Michael Odhiambo was seen at a local social joint in the company of several people, including a mutual acquaintance. The incident was reported at Migori Police Station under OB number 1007-2025, but investigations are yet to yield a tangible outcome. The killing of Mr. Michael Odhiambo Omamba has not only devastated his family, but also caused anxiety among the residents of Migori County, who are concerned about the state of public safety and the effectiveness of the security apparatus in protecting lives of citizens. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairpersons of Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, a report on the circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Michael Odhiambo Omamba, whose body was found dumped along the road in Migori Town on 23rd July 2025. 2, the steps being taken by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation to ensure a swift and thorough investigation of the murder of Mr. Michael Odhiambo Omamba. 3, the progress made in ensuring that the culprits of the murder of Mr. Michael Odhiambo Omamba are apprehended and held accountable so as to serve justice to the family of the deceased. 4, a report on the identity and whereabouts of the individuals, including a mutual acquaintance who was claimed to have been last seen with the deceased on the fatal night before his murder, and whether they are linked to the murder. And 5, the plans by the ministry to strengthen security measures in Migori Town and other vulnerable regions of Migori County in order to guarantee safety of the citizen. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Tong, committee. How long?
Madam Speaker, considering that the House could be going on recess next week, allow me to, I know it's a bit urgent, but allow me maybe first week on resumption from recess, but if I can get the response early, I can send to the member.
Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We will wait for the response.
Then it is so directed. We will Then go. What is out of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As the rest wait for the responses to the statements, I also have pending responses from
Honorable
the Chair
Donya,
Agriculture.
Honorable Donya, we will prosecute the responses as they are first. If you have pending, hold your horses. I'll give you after. Let us go to the Chair Defense. Honorable Bashir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I do the response, I just wanted to bring to the attention of this House a very disturbing and crucial matter that has come to our attention. Honorable Speaker, we have come to learn of certain statements of press made by the former Deputy President concerning matters, especially in Mandera, where he has imputed improper motives on the great people of Mandera during the visit of His Excellency the President to that county, where he said that the President, during his visit at night, met with members of Al-Shabaab together with the leadership of that county.
Honorable Bashir, what statement are you responding to? You're making another statement.
No, I'm trying to bring to attention a very weighty matter, which also touches on defense. Honorable Speaker, the statement by the DP that
You can't ambush me. I was confirming, Honorable Bashir, you know I'm in your committee, and this is a house of record. So I'm confirming because I called you to respond to a statement first. Respond to the statement first. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well guided. Honorable Speaker, the member for Turkana North Constituency, Honorable Ekon Nabin, MP, pursuant to provision of Standing Order 442C, requested a statement from the Cabinet Secretary for Defense regarding the security situation in Todonyang, particularly the massacre of civilians allegedly by the Dasanach militia from Ethiopia on 22nd February 2025. The member specifically sought to be informed on the following. A report on the status of investigations into the Todonyang massacre that occurred on 22nd February 2025, including the steps taken to collaborate with the Ethiopian authorities. B, the measures being put in place to address security breaches at the Kenya border along Lake Turkana and confirmation on whether the security forces have been deployed to ensure protection of these Kenyans at the border. C, the steps taken by the Ministry of Defense through the Kenya Defense Forces to protect fishermen along Lake Turkana during their fishing expeditions. And D, the measures put in place to ensure that the families of the victims are compensated and an indication of when they will receive their compensation. The committee engaged the Minister of Defense on the matters raised by the Honorable Nabuin. I therefore wish to respond as follows. Honorable Speaker, on the status of investigation to the Todonyang massacre, the Ministry of Defense has clarified that the Kenya Defense Forces was not directly involved in the investigation process. The Kenya Defense Forces, however, remained on standby to provide security assistance if required. Investigations to such incidents fall under the jurisdiction of the National Police Service under the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. There is, however, acknowledgement of the transboundary nature of the incident. Nevertheless, the Ministry has not reported any joint investigations or formal collaboration with the Ethiopian authorities so far. Regarding the security breaches along the Kenya-Ethiopia border near Lake Turkana, the Ministry reports that the Kenya Defense Force personnel have been deployed to various areas in Turkana County, including Lokichogio, Nadapal, Kainuk, Napaitom, and Kokenye. These deployments are conducted within a multi-agency framework in support of the National Police Service under Gazette Notice number 1900 of 13 February 2023. Patrols and surveillance operations are ongoing to stabilize the region and deter cross-border attacks. Further, the ministry has indicated that plans are underway to establish a permanent detachment in Liwan area on military land allocated by the Turkana County government, which will bolster long-term security infrastructure. Concerning the protection of fishermen in Lake Turkana, the Ministry of Defense stated that while the Kenya Defense Force deployment has been enhanced in Turkana, the specific mandate of securing fishermen and inland waterways rests with the security agencies under the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. However, the ministry affirms its continued commitment to supporting civil authorities within the existing operational frameworks when required. On the matter of compensation to the families of victims, the Ministry of Defense has not received any formal claim or request for compensation as of the date of the response. Consequently, no compensation arrangements have been made or timelines established. This indicates a potential gap in communication between the affected families and the relevant state institutions responsible for restitution and redress. Honorable Speaker, the ministry further emphasizes that the deployment of the Kenya Defense Forces to Turkana was undertaken pursuant to Article 2413B of the Constitution to assist in restoring peace and order in areas afflicted by banditry and intercommunal conflicts. While significant gains have been made in reducing insecurity through the civil-military cooperation, CIMIC, and the community engagement initiatives, the ministry acknowledges the continued challenges posed by cross-border incursions. I submit. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Is a member in the House? Yes. Honorable Ekwom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the response is not satisfactory because, Madam Speaker, from my understanding of the existence of KDF, under Article 3413A, the responsibility of KDF is defense and protection of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic. Madam Speaker, it seems the CS doesn't understand the location of Todonyang. Todonyang is located at the border of Kenya and Ethiopia, and the attackers were Ethiopian militia, and therefore it was an external aggression, an external incursion. And I thought this calls for the intervention and the response by KDF. Madam Speaker, the CS discusses deployment of KDF internally. She has mentioned areas that are within the country. We are talking about an external aggression. So, Madam Speaker, I want to request that you direct that the CS appears before that committee together with myself so that she will be able to give more information, because the Turkana people are looking forward to a response that has not been forthcoming in the last 6 months. People in Todonyang.
You've put your point. You've put your point.
Okay, thank you.
Let's hear the chair first.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have noted the concerns of the Honorable Member, and I think most appropriately we will be able to get back to the Ministry on those concerns. We are aware that the issues of internal deployment and external deployments, so certainly his concerns are also valid, but we will get back to the Ministry to further elaborate on this matter so that the member can adequately be satisfied on the same. So we'll get back to the Ministry.
How soon?
I think because we are going on recess probably, and probably within 2 weeks, even if it is giving him directly the response, that could be appropriate. So within 2 weeks, we will be able to get response from the Ministry.
Honorable Ekwom, is that agreeable? Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Now I'll indulge you on the other matter, which is not on my desk.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to bring to the attention of this House and the Kenyans at large that the former Deputy President made a press statement while in the US imputing improper motives on the great people of Mandera and the Kenyan Somali community at large, where he claimed that during the President's visit to Mandera, the President personally met with the members of Al-Shabaab together with members of the leadership of that country. Honorable Speaker, these are very outrageous and reckless statements, especially coming from someone who was once a Deputy President. It's unfortunate that these kind of statements further indicate that the kind of gap that exists between people who serve in high offices and those who are currently serving. Honorable Speaker, you also indicated that the abolition of vetting process to especially the Somali community and people living within the borders is ill-advised and that IDs will be given to terrorists. Honorable Speaker, that means that the Kenyan Somali community, according to the former Deputy President, are all terrorists, that they don't warrant to be given ID cards. It's unfortunate that this is not the first time the former Deputy President has profiled the Kenyan Somali community. Not once, not twice, not thrice. And it's unfortunate that it's coming from him. And two, he also goes ahead and says that while in the US, he's going to give information and names to the US government on matters that has transpired between the President and what he alleges to be meeting with Al-Shabaab and other elements. Honorable Speaker, first and foremost, Kenya is not a colony of any country, including America. America and Kenya are mutual countries with mutual respect. We gain from America, they gain from us.
Honorable Bashir, keep it short.
Okay, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, my point is that, you know, in our Somali culture, when somebody goes berserk or is mentally disturbed, they are chained in their family tree. And I want to ask the family that please chain one Rigathi Gachagua, because what he is saying and what he is speaking is tantamount to somebody who is mad and mentally disturbed.
Honorable Njeri, what is out of order?
And at this point,
Honorable Speaker, we know that if someone is mentally incapacitated, it is a case of
he's mad.
A doctor giving a medical report in regard to that. Is Honorable Bashir a doctor? Has he evaluated His Excellency, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua? Can he substantiate those claims? This is a serious house. We do not want drama here. We have serious national matters to be discussing.
Honorable Speaker, you know, the way he behaves, the way he utters, just shows that he is mentally disturbed and deranged. Because those words he spoke in America cannot be spoken by somebody who is mentally okay.
Honorable Bashir, I want to put this to a close. Personally, I have not listened to those sentiments, so I have no comment on the same. But I would want us to be parliamentary and wind up this debate for 30 seconds. Wind up.
Honorable Speaker, I agree with you. My point is that Rigathi Gachagua was once a Deputy President, and the words and statements that he makes should befit the office that he once held. And is somebody that is actually of importance to us, because while he's speaking out there, talking ill of this country. And in fact, I will also say, because he is a security threat to this country, let him stay in America and don't set foot in this country again. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Bashir, what is out of order? Honorable Bashir, you know there are many avenues of bringing matters to this house. You are actually free to be on record if you want to bring a motion, but I want to put that matter to rest at that point. Honorable Clive, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, it is wrong for the honorable member to say that the former Deputy President should not step into this country. He needs to withdraw that statement, because He doesn't have such powers, and it's inciting in nature. There is no difference from the same person he's trying to accuse if he takes that path. He needs to withdraw.
Honorable Undo.
Speaker, I'm always get baffled when we keep on wasting valuable parliamentary time talking about somebody who does not sit here in parliament, and somebody we were told that within 2 weeks after impeachment, he will be an entity, he will be inconsequential, he will not even be able to move. I wonder what's the obsession? What is the panic? What is the bile? Just ignore him and move on. If you think you've vanquished him politically, I can't understand it. We have more pressing issues in this country, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, you have made your point, Honorable Undo. I would want us to make progress. I have guided Honorable Bashir. In case you want this matter to be discussed as a motion, you know there are avenues that you can do that as a motion. But I also agree with Honorable Clive that you cannot issue threats of stepping on this soil for any citizen. So, Honorable Bashir, you had done very well, but the last statement you will withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, I think there are so many other personalities that have been asked not to step this country, and they're out there. In fact, those ones are even done illegally. This man is a threat to national security, the way he's speaking. Talking about a president meeting with Al-Shabaab.
Do not debate, Honorable Bashir. Yes. Do not debate.
So I don't think
I did not ask for substantiation. I said withdraw the last statement. All the other things you can say.
He has talked ill about the Somali community more than once, and I think that man... No. We live and prosecute him on civil courts. I'm not withdrawing. Yeah.
Honorable Bashir, Standing Order number 107A, a member commits an act of gross disorderly conduct if the member A defies a ruling or direction from the Speaker or chairperson of committee. I'm not done. So I have requested you to withdraw that statement, and you have defied that ruling. I will ask you to withdraw from the chamber. Order, members, let us make progress. The Chair of Energy Committee. Chair of Energy Committee. That matter is dispensed off with. Chair of Energy Committee. Are you the one who is the chair?
No, I'm a member, but delivering the response on behalf of the chair.
You have the statement?
Yes.
Okay. Kindly make your statement as requested by Honorable Naisula, who is in the House.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to deliver the response by Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Energy and Petroleum, on the questions raised by the Honorable Member for Samburu West regarding persistent power outage in Samburu West constituency. On question 1, the immediate and underlying causes of persistent power outages currently being experienced in Maralal Town and other parts of Samburu West constituency. Honorable Speaker, Samburu West constituency, including Maralal Town, is served by the 33 kV line originating from Lanet, Nakuru through Nyahururu Town. Maralal Town is at the terminal end of this line, spanning over 200 kilometers from Lanet 132 over 33 kV substation. Along the way, it serves part of Nakuru, Nyandarua, Baringo, and Laikipia counties. By being at the terminal end and with no alternative supply, any fault occurring on the line or routine maintenance on any section of the line affects Maralal Town. Essentially, this 3 kV distribution line is among the longest ones in the country and is performing a transmission function. The line is maintained by respective county teams, with each county handling well-defined areas. Samburu team maintains this line from the boundary with Laikipia County up to Maralal, 33/11 kV substation. During the April rains, a pole fell near Rimuruti town and in an area where the section of the line was inaccessible due to mud. As a result, there was prolonged power outage in the area. However, the issue has been resolved and continued supply of power to the larger Samburu County restored. On the question number 2, reason for lack of formal communication or advance notification to residents and business of interruption of power supply as required by law under the Energy Act. Honorable Speaker, KPLC has maintained an open communication structure with all its customers in every part of the country. In Samburu County, in case of a breakdown on the main line or a planned maintenance program, KPLC county leadership relays the information to the local radio station, that is Serian FM, for broadcasting to the local community. This is over and above the normal newspaper notices for planned maintenance programs. On the third question, measures that the ministry has put in place to urgently resolve this outage and ensure consistent and reliable power supply to Samburu West constituency moving forward. Honorable Speaker, to improve on supply reliability to Samburu West constituency, the following urgent measures have been put in place by the ministry. Thorough inspection of the entire 33 kV line from Lanet to Maralal town and the 11 kV line and transformers emanating from Maralal 3311 kV substation. 2, vegetation management of all the lines to keep trees off the power lines. 3, replacement of rotten wooden poles with concrete poles to prevent breakdowns. 4, repair of automatic voltage regulations along the 33 kV line to improve the outage at the Samburu. 4th question, alternative or strategic partnerships being explored by the ministry to provide Maralal and the entire Samburu West constituency with supplementary or backup power sources to mitigate the effect of power outages in the future. Honorable Speaker, to ensure power reliability and stability in the larger Samburu area, the following initiatives are being put in place in the medium term. 1, Ketraco's new Nanyuki Rimuruti 132 kV transmission line and a 132/33 kV Rimuruti substation are at advanced stage with a scheduled completion date of December 2025. KPLC is also constructing a dedicated line from Rimuruti, a 132/33 kV substation to Marala town, a 33/11 kV substation, and stop relying on Lanet 132/133 kV substation, that is in Nakuru County, as the primary source. This will leave Nyahururu link as an alternative and hence greatly improve supply of reliable and capacity enhancement of power supply to Samburu County. 2, KPLC is also exploring for another alternative supply to Maralal from Isiolo through Wamba town. There is a distribution line gap of around 23 kilometers that, if done, will link with the existing 33 kV line at Kisima Center. Route survey for the line has been completed and the designs are ongoing. KPLC is continuously undertaking transmission distribution network refurbishment and vegetation management to improve grid reliance in all parts of the country. On the final question, plans, if any, by the ministry to compensate affected residents and business for the losses occasioned by the perennial power outage. Honorable Speaker, the ministry remains committed to delivering quality, reliable, and cost-effective electricity to the people of Samburu West constituency and Kenyans at large. The ministry regrets the inconvenience caused by the outage, which has since been addressed significantly to the root cause. The current power challenges within the energy sector are largely attributed to low investment in generation and transmission in the last few years. Therefore, Kenya Power and Lighting Company does not have a compensation criteria for power outages in the country. That's the response, the Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Before I give the Honorable Naisula, allow me to recognize in the public gallery Nyali School from Nyali constituency, Mombasa County. Join me in welcoming them to the to Parliament. Honorable Naisula. Yes, I also take note. I am not able to see the public gallery, but if they are not in the house, they are on record.
It's also good to just recognize them. So, Chair, Madam Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to first say that I do not agree 1 second, 1 bit with that statement read by the chairperson on behalf of the chairperson of Energy Committee. I will raise the substantive issues as to why, but also the issues of CSAs or CSAs responding to us without getting facts from the ground through their committees will not be acceptable in this House, Madam Speaker. And why do I say this? The question that has been said that this matter has been resolved, I want to put it to the Chair of Energy that as we speak right now, there is no electricity in Samburu West. It has not been there last week, Tuesday, the entire day, entire night. It was not there on Sunday, just this past Sunday. And so, flowery languages here to tell us what is happening on where we come from. Us members who sit here represent those constituencies. We are the ones who know what is happening in our constituencies. And so writing beautiful statements here to say that the matter has been resolved, I will not accept it, Madam Speaker. I'm actually happy this statement was not answered before, so that it is answered on real time when we have no electricity in Samburu West constituency. The second issue, Madam Speaker, you have heard that this is a long line. But what happens to the north and the northeasterns and the periphery? We are always the last ones. The statement said it is from Lanet, Nakuru County, but Samburu is the last. And that is why we face the same problem. I want to ask, does Nakuru County not have electricity right now? Because it serves the same line. I want to know why, because I have done my survey. We share the same line, but the other counties, Nyandarua, Nakuru, will have electricity, but Samburu West constituency will not have electricity. So, I also to put it to you this way on the third answer about the long-term plans. The Rumuruti substation has been built, it's been being built. It is there. I don't know why it's not been commissioned for the last 15 years. I want to again put it to you that there are parts of this country which are not taken seriously and they are not valued. Why should we even have a substation in Laikipia County, in Rumuruti? We need a substation in Samburu County, because my colleague from Samburu East, the one you're talking about, the electricity from Wamba, the other option is to bring it from Samburu East. He told me Samburu East is again now facing the same challenge we are facing in Samburu West. I want to conclude, Madam Speaker, by saying we have children who are in incubators. We have business people who are running businesses in Maralal. We have students who study using electricity. So if someone thinks Samburus only use manyatas and small tin lamps, we want electricity just like every other Kenyan. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Sane.
Madam Speaker, Kenya Power and Lighting Company is a public company. I can't understand what exonerates them from negligence when there are outages. From the statement read by the committee, It's like KPLC is not responsible for anything they do occasioned by outages resulting from their negligence. Why should that happen? People of Samburu deserve the right for compensation if there is any negligence on the part of KPLC. Why should such a statement come from such a company?
Honorable Oundo.
Honorable Speaker, sometimes we say the rich also cry. Honorable Speaker, the reader, the whoever has represented the chair happens to come with the same county like mine. And whenever, Honorable Speaker, it drizzles, not stop even raining, when it drizzles, almost the entire Busia County, power goes off. Almost the entire Busia County, power goes off. I hope as he has read a false statement, a misleading statement, he will also, when they come to rectify the statement, he will also raise the issue of Busia and never ask.
Honorable Oundo, you know you can raise the issue of Busia. Even
no, I'm
you
sending him
yourself.
because he's a member of his ranking, he's a senior member of the committee.
Do not cast aspersions on your colleagues.
No, so I'm just saying, when the cabinet secretary is coming or the permanent secretary is coming, principal secretary is coming to answer, I hope I'll be aware so that we also pick up the issue of intermittent power failure in many of the outlying areas of this country. Most of Busia County and Funyula constituents as a whole.
made your point.
And I know it extends to
Honorable
Kenya as well.
Owen.
Thank you.
Honorable Owen.
I want to speak as a member of Kilifi North, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say this. You know, it is time that we allow competition in the energy sector. That this Kenya Power is the reason why we do not have power. Because of the monopoly that they have. And they behave the way they do and give us that kind of replies to this House just because they are a monopoly. But I think as Parliament, we have responsibility to make law, to publish sessional papers, and one sessional paper that we need to bring here is the split of that KPLC, so that we diversify the market. Anybody who has money to invest in the energy sector, and other countries actually have done well in the energy sector because they don't have monopoly in that sector, Honorable Speaker. So I think the energy team that is here, the Committee on Energy, including my friend who read that, and we want to exonerate you. You are doing your duty as a member of Parliament for your area, but also as a legislator in the National Assembly from that area, not for that area. Oundo, I think that was unfair on your friend. But I also want to say this. It was very, very unfair on your colleague. But I want to say this, Honorable Speaker, that Energy Committee needs to push a motion in this Parliament to give other players an opportunity to distribute power, to buy power from KenGen and distribute, and not just KPLC. Because the mess that we have, you tell KPLC, connect my house. They give you a bill, Honorable Speaker, of a transformer, of wires, of poles, totaling to almost 10 million. So that they make it impossible to put the grid to the poorest areas in this country. And because they do that, those areas continue to be poor. Honorable Speaker, as a House, I think, and I want to challenge the committee, please bring a sessional paper to this House so that we allow other players who have resources and money to distribute power and not just KPLC. I support you, Honorable Suda, and the fate that your people suffer, the same fate that my people suffer, whether I'm in government or not. But I say, put electricity in this village.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, Honorable
The reason
Speaker.
I've given many joyriders is also because you also speak for Gilgil, which has the same problem.
Yes.
So
I want to speak for Gilgil, Honorable Speaker. We must split.
I think Honorable Owen
monopolize KPLC.
I think Honorable Owen has actually concluded it. Energy Committee, this statement is not up to standard. Can you commit to do better than you have done? Especially, specifically on Maralal, before you bring the global issue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I actually undertake to go back to my committee and discuss this matter further. But Honorable Speaker, allow me to add this. I have one member who is present. This issue of power and the way Honorable Oundo has pointed out, I also come from Busia County. We are equally affected. And the issue that the Honorable Insula raised is the issue of the substation that the ministry is saying that they are constructing, and the Honorable Insula is saying the construction is endless. Honorable Speaker, perhaps I may urge this House, because if we can allocate more resources to this particular energy ministry so that we can have more substation, because this is an issue as a committee we had with the minister, and the only response they had was that they don't have resources to build enough substation in the country. On the issue of liberalization of Kenya Power, I support the sentiment by the Deputy Majority Leader. That one is a debate that we are having in the committee, and very soon we'll bring something to the floor of the House so that we can open up the energy sector. On the issue that was raised by Honorable Senei, I think, let me clarify, on the issue of compensation on the constant outages. It's not that we are talking about people affected maybe by the destruction of their property by the cost through the outage. We are saying that those power blackouts, if their business person was supposed to do business and there's no power within 24 hours or 12 hours, it becomes very difficult for Kenya Power, for sure, to compensate the entire the business community in the entire country. But all the sentiments raised will go back as a committee, look at them, and come back in a better response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
What time? Specifically to...
Give us when we after
Maralal's
recess.
question. Yes?
Give us after recess, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Naisula.
Speaker, I was going to propose something different, and it will be to your discretion. Looking at the interest that members have on this matter from their areas, Madam Speaker, we should not leave it to the committee. We should engage the CS on this particular matter so that they can answer us, so that instead of blaming Honorable the Chair or Mulanya, we should actually have them come here and answer the questions, because you can see the interest is a lot from different parts of the country. But thank you for your direction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we will give the committee a chance to bring that next week, first of all. But I think the chair can still make interventions, even without coming to the floor, to sort out the immediate problem in Maralal. Honorable Mulanya, good. Thank you. Honorable members, before we go to, we get out of this order, I will indulge Honorable Mwenje. You are not here. You are not here when we had the request for statements, so you will take your take on your statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Apologies, I wasn't there on time. The statement was being finalized at the time I was called out. Honorable Speaker, this is a request for a statement regarding resource deployment strategy in new administrative units in Nairobi County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee Education regarding resource deployment strategy in newly formed administrative units in Nairobi County. Honorable Speaker, in November 2024, the government established new administrative units within Nairobi County, including some in Embakasi West Sub-County. These demarcations fundamentally alter the administrative landscape for service delivery, including provision of critical education services. The effective and equitable provision of education, encompassing teacher allocation, infrastructure development, and distribution of learning materials, is intrinsically linked to these administrative boundaries and the demographic realities within them. Failure to create an effective deployment strategy may lead to uneven distribution of educational resources, potential strain on existing facilities in some areas, and inadequate service provision in others, ultimately impacting the quality of education for our children in Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, a comprehensive report on the steps taken by the government to provide adequate resource deployment strategies, including allocation of teachers, school infrastructure development, and distribution of learning materials to public schools within the newly established administrative units in Nairobi, especially in Embakasi West Sub-County. And 2, specific measures and timelines that the government is putting in place to ensure educational resources are equitably and adequately distributed to serve the needs of the population within these new administrative units. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That will go to the Committee on National Administration? No, Education, actually. Okay. Honorable Gisairo.
We should be able to respond immediately. We resume from recess on that first week.
It is well. That will be good time, Honorable Mwenje, unless you are disputing.
Speaker, in fact, I'd hope the member for Embakasi South, who is affected by this issue, should be supporting me standing next to you. Honorable Speaker, if we can get assurance from the department, from the Honorable Gisario, that they will not recruit new teachers or do anything new until we get a response. Otherwise, we are the people who stand to suffer because we have new sub-counties and we are still being treated as though we are just one sub-county. This Embakasi West, Embakasi East, Embakasi North, Central, we've all been grouped into one, and that means we are unfairly treated because nobody is recognizing that things have changed.
You are debating the statement. Honorable Mawathe, unless you are adding anything more useful to add to Honorable Mwenje.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's important that this committee of education really deals in devils into that, because there is no way you can have four sub-counties, 3 of which are the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th largest in population in the country, lumped together. And when the issues of recruitment of teachers comes about, then you find you are given as one sub-county to recruit 8 teachers. So it's important that,
Thank you.
that the Energy Committee handles that.
So immediately after we resume from recess, I know there are members who are waiting on Abudonya with pending statements.
Madam Speaker, not pending statement, but answers to my statements. I have 3 statements which have not received a response for like 2 months. One from the Chair, Agriculture, Treasury, and Ministry of
Pending one, hold on. But there is a pending statement from Honorable Donya in a trade committee. If it's not there, Owen, Honorable Owen, the Committee of Trade has a pending statement for Honorable Donya for quite some time.
Okay. I'll advise the chair, Shinali, Marianne, oh, she's not here too. So I'll advise the chair, Honorable Speaker, so that we have the statement the first week after recess. But we also have next week.
You have a whole of next week,
Yes.
and Tuesday
Yes.
on
So
20th.
I want to request
Next week.
that the matter be put for next week, Tuesday.
Yes.
So that she can get a statement, so the people of Kisii can be very,
Very well.
happy.
Thank you. Honorable Sanei.
Madam Speaker, I made a request to the Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the disappearance of one Hussein Abdurrahman Mohammed on 8th July 2025, a former Assistant County Commissioner and currently the Huduma Center Manager for Wajir County. He is missing for 30 days, Madam Speaker. The committee promised to give a statement, a response, today, Thursday, and it did not appear on the order paper. Missing people and their families are entitled to safety and protection, Madam Speaker. Their families have a right to be responded to and to be informed on the fate of their missing loved ones, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, even in cases of forced disappearances where Kenya has ratified an international convention, just in case it is there is an obligation on the government. Madam Speaker, we are speaking for the sovereign, the owners of the country, the citizens. When a sovereign is missing for 30 days, more so a civil servant, we only enjoy delegated power, and the national executive enjoys that delegated powers on behalf of...
Thank you. Let us hear from the committee first, why it hasn't come. Committee on National Administration, member. If no member, Deputy Leader of Majority.
Well, Speaker, the Honorable Tongo, who is the chair, is a very diligent member. There must be a real good reason why he's not here, Honorable Speaker. So I want to plead with you, you allow us until Tuesday next week, so that the statement, I'll talk to Tongo myself to get this response done. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Sane.
With humility, I respect the Deputy Leader of Majority's response. But, Madam Speaker, these are matters touching the sanctity of life, of Kenyans, a civil servant, a former Assistant County Commissioner, a father. We can't postpone such issues and handle it casually like that. We have an obligation as a government. Kenyans can't just disappear. If we can't account for a civil servant, the manager of a Huduma Center, you can imagine of a common pastoralist who is in the wilderness all over in northern Kenya.
Honorable Sane, any missing person is one too many. Regardless of your stature.
I agree.
Regardless of where you come from, we all have a right to life and a right to live wherever we would want to live. So, Honorable Owen Bayer, my suggestion would be the CS of Interior is coming next week. Can this be an addendum to his response? I direct that it should be an addendum so that we fast track it.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker, that I will also direct that it be put in the...
You are directed, so
yes, I am so
kindly
directed,
execute.
And I will
kindly execute. Thank
you. My staff, please, wherever you are and you are hearing this direction, please make sure it is
you
part of the
cannot use this floor to direct your staff, Honorable Owen. Honorable members, Honorable Member Fortetu, are you on this one? I see you raising your hand. And I don't know why you're raising your hand.
Madam Speaker, I don't know which other way to get your attention.
It is here.
I've been trying
on intervention.
to do that. I've been trying to do that on the last two issues that have been raised. But now that I have your attention.
Member Fortetu, I don't have you on intervention. Point of order is an intervention. Thank you. Continue though.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also have two statements that have been pending in this House for a long time. One from the Departmental Committee for the one that deals with matters interior and the one that deals with matters labor. Again, it's been pending for a long time, Madam Speaker. I don't know what is the method for getting a response after the Speaker directs after 2 weeks and you come and you don't hear any response.
Interior
and labor. One was about Nyayo T-zone workers who are not paid for a very long time. The other one was resettlement of people who are evicted from Tosha Forest in Tetu. And they were supposed to be resettled together with the other IDPs, but there's a list of 500 people who were not resettled, and I've been following those matters. And Madam Speaker, these are very old matters in this house. Some of them have been raised by my predecessors, and they have never been resolved. So I don't know whether I'm going to face the same fate, or you can intervene. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think, Honorable Owen, you have quite some task. Honorable Tongoyo has a lot of pending statement. And then the other one is labor. I don't see Chonga. So you still have some duty to take up.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I will discharge my duties by calling and talking to the Honorable Ken Chonga so that he brings a statement next week. And also, I'll also remind the Honorable Tongoyo. I think the issues of IDPs should not be an issue that we're discussing this time and age. The IDP phenomenon came in 2007 until today. Why should Kenyans be suffering? This is something that we need to put our foot down, not just as member for Tetu, but as Parliament. It should be on us that actually we finish this, settle all IDPs, and funds were put in budgets, consequent budgets, to settle IDPs in this country. I don't know what happened to those funds, but I think Honorable Tongoyo will give us a response. So, Honorable...
next week?
The people of Tetu, yes.
Next week?
Yes, the people of Tetu will have a response.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Njeri, finally.
Thank you for your indulgence, Honorable Speaker. I'll be very restrained because I do intend to seek a formal statement in regard to this. This is a matter that has come up and is unfolding as we speak. I'm informed that Clement Kioi, a 24-year-old who collapsed while playing football at Kutus with fellow young people, was rushed to Kutus dispensary but was denied treatment on the allegation that he had not registered for SHA. Unfortunately, the fellow youths tried to rush him to a private medical facility, but he succumbed on the way to the facility. Honorable Speaker, we were discussing Kara here yesterday, and as county governments are demanding for further allocations, we do know that healthcare is now devolved. They should not be failing the people of Kirinyaga County. As I pass my condolences to the family and urge the residents of Kutus and by large Kirinyaga County to be restrained and calm, we also must have a thorough investigation, and the person responsible for denying Clement access to urgent medical attention must be held culpable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have indulged you, but you know that statement is not filed. So if you want to follow the procedure, do the right thing. Honorable members, let us go to the next order.
Order number 12, motion, consideration of nominees to 5 National Government Constituency Development Fund committees.
Before we get to move that motion, allow me to recognize again or note that we have some schools in the galleries, public gallery, Kabutei Secondary School from Tinderet constituency, Nandi County, and we also have Nyakiambi Secondary School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County. Join me in welcoming them to the House to observe the proceedings of this House. This is meant to be moved by the Chairperson Committee on National Development Constituencies, National Government Constituency Development Fund. I am in receipt of a communication that it has been delegated to Honorable Clive Gisairo to move.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Committee on National Government Constituency Development Fund laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th August 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and paragraph 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Regulations 2016, approves the list of nominees for appointment to the following 5 constituencies, committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Number 1, Isiolo South Constituency. Number 2, Lunga Lunga Constituency, 1 member, which was an amendment. Number 3, Kuria West constituency. Number 4, 1 member, Homa Bay Town constituency, also was an amendment, and Kitui South constituency. Honorable Speaker, it is important that we have all these committees in place because we're in a new financial year. And as we expect Treasury to start releasing the funds for this financial year, going by the fact that the motion for the ceilings was tabled yesterday and adopted by this House, we expect that each constituency to have all their CDFCs adopted by this House, approved by this House, and gazetted to ensure that service delivery to the people in all constituencies in Kenya is done in a timely manner to ensure that as we abide by the law, which says that all projects need to be completed by 30th June 2026, that no constituency remains behind. It's my hope that this House will adopt this list and approve the same to ensure that they are properly in place and the gazettement takes place soon as possible. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I would like Honorable Toroitich, Member of Parliament, Marakwet West, to second.
Honorable Timothy.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I therefore propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Committee on National Government Constituencies Development Fund laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th August 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and paragraphs 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Regulations 2016, approves the list of nominees for appointment to the following 5 constituencies committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Isiolo, we have Isiolo South constituency. We have Lunga Lunga constituency, Kuria West constituency, and Homa Bay constituency, Homa Bay Town constituency, and Kitui South constituency, and the names are as in the order paper. Honorable Owen.
Honorable Speaker, it's very important, Honorable Speaker, that the CDFC committees are in place to ensure implementation of the projects as approved and funds disbursed. But also, Honorable Speaker, I want to note with pleasure that for the first time we have all the money that is owed to CDFCs given, all of it, including the balance from previous year. I think we need to commend the chief at Treasury, the Honorable John Badi, for a good job, and the Treasury people for a good job. I think for the first time we have all the money coming. And I think I also want to commend the chairperson, Honorable Sirma, and the young Clive Gesairo. I think you'll make a good leader as you progress in your second term. The people of your constituency should consider you for a second term because you're doing a commendable job. And one day you'll also become a majority leader. And I pray for you for the good job you're doing for CDF. But also I want to underscore the importance of CDF in our constitution. I have seen and are perturbed actually that when we approved the amendment to the constitution, that there are people who are actually going to court to block the putting of the CDF in the constitution, Honorable Speaker. I think if there is a fund in this country that works, that even my good friend Dr. Makalu Muli agrees with me. If there's a fund, and when he becomes governor of Kitui, if he becomes, he will not go there and turn around and fight CDF and take CDF to court. Because CDF has actually shown that we can transform this country. The education sector in this country has been transformed through CDF. If there was no CDF, Honorable Speaker, the people of my constituency would not be having schools. If there was no CDF, Honorable Speaker, there would not be a chief's office in my constituency, Honorable Speaker. So as we approve these names and push for the entrenchment of CDF in the constitution, Honorable Speaker, we want to thank the people who are behind that force. And we want to thank the people in that parliament, I don't know whether it's the 7th parliament or which parliament, that actually gave birth to the idea of CDF. Honorable Speaker, I support Honorable Clive and the report he has presented and request that these names be gazetted as fast as possible so that these members can start their work to implement the projects that have been proposed. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. And
Very well. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to support the names for the board members. And it's important that Kenyans know that these are the people who actually are in charge of NGCDF. And it's not the honorable members of parliament. Honorable members of parliament are just patrons. So these are the people who go through the proposals. These are the people who conduct public participation to identify what is to be funded. And these are the people who release the money to the project management committees for implementation. These are the people who also follow up and make sure that whatever has been planned to be implemented is implemented. And these are the same people who also hand over the projects to the community members once they are completed. So it is important that all the constituencies have this board in place. And that's why I'm so happy when I hear 5 now additional boards have been are going to be approved by the House so that they can be gazetted. But as Majority Leader said, Honorable Speaker, it is important, and we have said it many times, if there is a development model which works in this country, it is NGCDF. The approach to development through this NGCDF, Honorable Speaker, has been assessed not only by us, but by external evaluators, that it is the best model to implement. How I wish, instead of saying we do away with the CDF, we would be saying this model should be adopted by the county governments, and if possible, the model should also be adopted by the national government when it comes to development projects implementation, because that will help the country. But you see what is happening, Honorable Speaker, there is a lot of undercurrents in matters NGCDF. Some people think that this money is pocket money for members of parliament. Far from the truth. The truth is, this is one of the programs which has touched the lives of Kenyans, more so through the education sector and the security sector. And of late, Honorable Speaker, the environmental sector, where a lot of resources have now been pumped to the environment so that we try to mitigate the issues of climate change. So, Honorable Speaker, I support, and I want to urge everyone in this country to ensure that even members of parliament are not going to be part of the NGCDF, that NGCDF remains, because it is of huge benefit to Kenyans. I do support.
Mwangi from Teto, are you on this? No. Bowen Kangogo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support that motion. And Madam Speaker, it is important the 5 constituencies, constituencies they have their committees in place. Because the Honorable Speaker, the CDF committees are very important, especially in running out those programs in the constituencies. And Madam Speaker, given that now we are beginning a new financial year, and we have a lot of faith, like the Honorable Leader of Majority has said that we have a lot of faith with the Honorable John Badi that is going to disperse the money very soon. It is important that we have these officers in place, because it is through those CDFC's committee, Honorable Speaker, that the bursaries we give to our students in colleges, in secondary schools, and even in universities, those committees are the ones who normally sit down and vet those who qualify those bursaries. Madam Speaker, it is important also to know that the Treasury, and also with the introduction of the electronic procurement system, it is good we have these individuals get into their offices very fast, because I know in many of our constituencies also, they are being trained on EGP. So as soon as we approve these names, Honorable Speaker, they will also enable them to be onboarded into the e-procurement trainings, and for them to be able to execute their work in their constituencies. Madam Speaker, I don't want to say what my honorable colleagues have said about what the CDF has done in our constituencies. And even as we push to have the CDF entrenched in our constitution, Madam Speaker, it is the only money which is devolved to the crown, and every structure you see now, even in a county, in every 5 structures you see in a county, almost close to 4 or 3 are CDF projects. So, Madam Speaker, as a house, we need to protect CDF by all means, because CDF doesn't benefit members of parliament, the CDF doesn't benefit the national government, the CDF benefits the local wananchi. Many Madam Speaker, individuals, young people who may not have managed to go to school have been supported by CDF. Some they have been supported by CDF throughout their secondary school, even to the universities. And now they are professionals in this country in one way or another. So, Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, I want to support that we approve these names so that they can go down straight to their constituencies and start work immediately. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Nyenze, are you on this?
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to say that on the onset I support this motion on consideration for nominees to these 5 NGCDF funds. These are very important committees because actually they are the ones who are in charge of the fund. The fund's accounts manager is the accounting officer. Together with these committees, they come up with the proposals of the projects to be done. They are the ones who are in charge of training the PMCs, that is the project management committees. They are the ones actually who are in charge of this fund as a whole. So having these constituencies not having the committees, then is a disadvantage to them. I can see that some of them are just maybe replacing them, and therefore I actually support to say that I approve this list and say that it's really very important. NGCDF has done wonders in our country. It has brought a lot of changes, a lot of development, especially on the infrastructure. In terms of education, the bursary has assisted a lot. Families who could not take their children to secondary schools are now able to educate their children through the bursaries from NGCDF. And also, there are so many students who have gone through universities who could not actually be educated because of a lack of school fees. But this fund has brought a lot of transformation in our country. And therefore, I approve this and also say that members of parliament went through public participation and people on the ground, Kenyans actually approved and said that NGCDF should continue. So whoever is taking NGCDF, again after public participation to court, this one is uncalled for, and Kenyans, I'm sure, are not with them. So with those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I support these nominees. Thank you.
Very well. I don't see more interests. Honorable Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kusema pia Mheshimiwa Spika, NGCDF imesaidia sana, na kama vile Wakenya waliweza kutoa amri wakasema iendelee, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, nakumbuka wakati zetu tukisoma kule nyuma, wakati